Hi my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆. So right now I am doing a fill-in. I had already taken down her colored acrylic, so right now it's just bare nails. I pushed back the cuticle area, and now I'm just going in with a very fine sand bit on the lowest setting, and I'm going into that cuticle area, just getting all that dead skin. Whenever I use my sanding bit, I always take like the end of the bit and file it against a hand file, just so it kind of dulls out a little bit. I find when I don't do that, that's when I get, like, I cut my clients. And you don't do it intentional. It's just the sand bit on the edges are really, really sharp. So now I'm going in with Swipe from Young Nails, because I use everything Young Nails. So I'm just wiping the area. I find that when I first tried to not use this, when I started using Young Nails, the nails definitely didn't last as long. So keep that in mind. If you go to Young Nails, any system really, try to use the entire system. Don't try to use like different stuff. So now I'm just going in with their primer. I've always used their primer. It's always been good, even when I haven't used, even though I just told you guys to use the same system. But their primer has always been super duper good. Like, if you can't get anything Young Nails besides this primer, I understand. Like, just get the primer. It's a really, really good primer. So I'm really sorry about these angles. Yeah, don't mind me. Very soon I will be showing you guys my new workspace. I am working from home now, so I'm super excited to finally show you guys like my area. I was supposed to show you my area at the salon, but yeah, that didn't last long. So and I'll also be doing a story time in like the next couple days, probably today. So yeah, so I always apply 2 coats of primer. If they actually, I had a client like touch their hand to see if it was dry. Don't understand, so I had to go back in and prime her nails. So if you end up like touching their hand, I always go back in and prime, just in case, because when you touch the nail bed, you're adding oil. Oil is a no bueno when it comes to nail prep. So and just don't go in with the sanding bit. Make sure you push those cuticles back. I'm noticing that when I didn't push the cuticles back, and I just went in with that sanding bit, my work didn't, like, the cuticle area didn't look as clean. So now I am, going in with my first little small bead of acrylic. I always do this when I use colored acrylic, just to ensure that there's no lifting. Only time I don't do this is if I'm using like a cover acrylic, a core acrylic from like Young Nails, and I know for sure it's not gonna lift because it's meant to like build up a nail. But colored acrylic, I don't see how people just go in with colored acrylic, and sometimes it can stain. So yeah, I just don't. I always make sure I put a small bead of acrylic down. Like, look at this pinky. Like, the cuticle area just looks bomb. So you want to make sure that you are wiping around the cuticle area so there is absolutely no lifting. If you happen to get acrylic on the cuticle area, that's okay. Just peel back the skin and go in with your nail e-file and just drill down that acrylic so there's no lifting. But you just want to make sure that you try your hardest not to get any acrylic on there, because that can cause lifting. Even if you do try to file down, like, it can cause like the slightest of lifting. And I feel like that's why it's really important to have a good acrylic system, because even if I do have lifting, it's really rare that my nails will ever pop off. And when I lay the acrylic, I try to get as close to the nail as possible just so you know, it's the application of the entire nail. It just looks super duper smooth. There's no lumps or bumps. So when I lay my first bead, I get really close to the cuticle and I just pat, 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 pat. Let me see if I can show you. So you see how I'm kind of like pushing the product closer to the cuticle, and then I'm just patting all around the cuticle area so no piece of the nail bed is showing. You don't want any parts of the nail bed showing. So as you see, patting, 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 sliding, sliding, sliding. And these are just very small beads, again, because I like to use small beads prior to. And honestly, I could have did much better on the shaping. I'm not even gonna lie. I did cut down her nails tremendously because her nails were really, really long, but she didn't want them long no more. So yeah. So I already explained this, so y'all can just watch it. I don't know why clients always freaking like turn their hands really weird. But if you are not a nail tech and you're watching this video, turn your hand the right way. Just turn it right. When you turn your hand like in a very weird position, it hurts your nail tech's hands because we have to hold your finger now in a proper position so we can see. Like I really had a client like get kind of like a tissy because I told her to hold her hand straight. Like, girl, do you not realize that you're hurting my finger by doing what you're doing? Be mad at me because I've been telling you to hold your hand straight. Well, do your nails then. Or when they like hold their hand towards their way so they can see, like, sis, are you doing your nails or am I doing your nails? How are you gonna watch everything that I do? Irritating, annoying, frustrating. All of the above. So again, just doing the same thing. I feel like that was a better view of what I was doing. Again, I'm so sorry for these angles. But cleaning up that cuticle area, girl. So now I'm taking different colors. She wanted like this. She found this picture on Pinterest. I don't know where it is. I don't feel like asking her for it. But anyways, she took this. She wanted like this cloudy looking thing. So before this clip, I tried to do it with like a different method, but it just didn't look right. So I was like, you know what? I was trying to avoid doing marbling, but we're just gonna be doing marbling. And I was like, I wasn't gonna show you guys because I've done a lot of marbling in the past, couple few times, few videos, but I feel like this is a little different because it's more like mixed in. You feel me? So yeah. So our like goal is for it to look like clouds, like a sunset. Oh, and one more thing, these powders, the 3 smaller ones are from, what's that place? Glam and Glitz, Glam and Glitter. You know what I'm trying to say. I'll leave in the link in the bio below. The cover powder, that like beige color, is from my local nail supply store. I actually really like it, and I've been using it a lot for my ombres. Like, I sometimes be sleeping on their powders, but their powders are actually really good. I actually need to go back and get another white one because it's bomb. So that's what it's looking like. It's looking real nice. And I legit did this for the whole, for all 4 fingers. So I'm really not about to show you guys all of that because it's like legit so repetitive. I do, of course, go in with some clear acrylic just to top that off because I don't want to not do it and, you know, you go to file, and all your hard work is gone. So just make sure that you encapsulate that nail. Just like I'm doing, and I don't take like a really thick bead because it's not necessary, because the nail is pretty much already built. I'm literally just doing this just so I can make sure that I don't file away the hard work. And I'm going back in, just adding a little bit more color to the nail and going to encapsulate it. So let's go ahead and just skip to filing, just because this is super duper repetitive and I don't feel like it's necessary because I'm legit doing the same thing. Okay.
Alright guys, so when I file nails, I always start out by pulling the skin if there's any like acrylic on the sides of the nails, on the side walls. I pull the skin away from the acrylic, and then I go in and I start filing on the sides. I file up and down to reshape the nail and get that nice sharp shape. And then I start filing on the surface. I do plan on switching over to using my e-file more often just to speed the filing process up. I'm getting to a point where there's not a lot of lumps and bumps in my nails anyway, so it really doesn't take a really long time, but I feel like that can definitely be diminished a lot if I were to just switch over to my e-file. I don't know, it's just something about hand filing that I just prefer over the e-file. And I'm super sorry about this angle. I know I always say this every video, every nail video. I am getting a new tripod. It should be here very soon, so you guys will be able to see the nails much better. So yeah. Alright guys, so after I finish filing, I always tell my clients to go wash their hands and use a manicure brush just to get all of the dust around their cuticle area away. So I am doing some hand-drawn art today. Nothing too, jazzy, just a little bit. I like to put on my top coat prior to, so it's easier for me to wipe away if I do mess up. I'm using the 𝕻𝖊𝖈𝖎𝖆 No Cleanse top coat. I love this top coat. It doesn't get dingy. It's actually really good. At one point I was using 𝕻𝖊𝖉𝖚𝖈, but that one sucks, so I would definitely recommend this one. So for her stars, I'm just using a dotting tool, and I'm dragging it upward. And I did try to use a brush for this, but it was way too hard. So if you are having trouble with drawing little stars with a brush, I suggest a dotting tool. And I'm really starting to love hand-drawn art, and I'm going to start. I just bought some gel, art gel from Amazon, so to really start diving deep into hand-drawn art. So I just put 3. She wanted butterflies for this, but we didn't think that would look too good, so we settled on these little stars. And I actually think they came out really well. This is like her 3rd fill-in, so we'll see. When I do fill-ins, as you guys saw, I always just file down all the way down for the nails to be crystal clear, so I can start fresh. And she absolutely loved these ones. So yeah, go down there. And I believe I used a gel polish for the white, so I did end up curing it. With gel polish, when you're drawing, it is kind of hard because it typically does run.
Change your mind?
So that's why I decided to get some gel paint so it won't run as easily, because if you're doing something really detailed, you're gonna have to keep telling your client to put their hand in the light, and it takes so long. You have to go over it. It's just too much. So yeah, if you're thinking about doing art and you really want to get into it, I would suggest getting some gel paint pots, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm just doing the other hand, and I'm doing the exact same thing.
Same difference. It's very racist.
Yeah. And don't we just love clients that are just like so experimentative, and they love doing a bunch of looks? Not only she's my friend, she's one of my favorite clients because she always has a bunch of stuff that she wants to do. And as you saw, it's so easy to wipe off something if you mess up. I added way too many stars, and it started to look a little bulky. So yeah.
It's like when somebody you're like, okay, listen, I'm just gonna take this off. Don't tell nobody. Okay, give the one.
I'm gonna have her cure that one, and then I'm going to put a top coat on this finger, and then I'm gonna finish her off with some cuticle oil for her pictures. Always tell your clients to not rub in the cuticle oil because it'll mess up the shininess of your nails for your pictures. Even if you wipe it off, it just lacks luster when you put the oil on. So yeah. All right, my beautiful people, this concludes this video. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on all my social media. Until next time, bye guys.